also. And good morning to everybody. You can play some Sultai Control today. It's kind of an updated list from the last time I played the deck. I am trying out some more Archmage's Charms. I think Archmage's Charm is so good right now. It's so hard to cast in this deck. But I cut the Field of Ruin for a Sunken Ruins. Alright. And I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but man, Charm just seems so good right now. But what's up, Spikelings? I'm MTGO user Aspiring Spike, and this is my Shark Typhoon. Here I brainstorm all types of new and exciting decks ideas and graciously share them with you. Today, I brewed up a special version of Sultai Control. With this, I plan to bring myself more league trophies and to bring the joy of watching me be amazing. So enjoy my Spikelings, but this genius doesn't come for free. It does. It does actually come for free, though. Don't listen to a chest. Or do listen to a chest. But good morning everybody. I had something else I was gonna say. They got an expedition map. Hopefully they don't have, you know, the tower naturally, at least. They don't. Okay, so they can you know, fetch up a tower right now. So I was gonna say that you know, there's two modern super qualifiers next week. There's also a legacy and a pioneer one, and a vintage one too. I want to try to. My goal is to play in
welcome, Spike,
and like
to the Shark Typhoon.
4 PTQs next week. Is going to be a lot. I might just end up doing 3 if it ends up being too much. But my goal is definitely to play in a lot of PTQs next week. So, and this is definitely a deck that I could see registering for a PTQ. I think this deck's really good. So, kind of in PTQ boot camp today. The chest gifting a sub to Kodal, very cool. I'm doing well, Nebel. How are you doing today? Yeah, playing around Tails and Master Flea with their all expedition. What are these called? Box topper Tron pieces. Karn liberated. I counter you. And now, do I want to cycle Typhoon for 0? I think I do. I think that if we could find like a land plus Remand or Force plus a blue card to like play Uro and hold up a counterspell, that would be so nice that I want to try to do that. And we did not do that, but I think it was still good. Guess I'm gonna leave Archmage's Charm in the yard. If we draw Mystic Sanctuary, it's not like we can get that force back immediately. Wow, we didn't even draw 1 land. Okay. We could technically like untap the Oboro, but just gonna pass. Am I gonna play Test for Legacy? I'll probably just play Ant. I don't know. Like, the deck felt pretty good last time. It's the deck that I play the best. It's probably better than people give it credit for. I don't know. I might play like a mid-range pile too. I've played a ton of those in my time. Alright, probably dead. So we draw, I guess. We drew the other 2 Uros, which was kind of funny. Alright, Fatal Push makes me feel pretty good about packing it in. The one thing I like about the Needle is, despite stopping the MDFC decks, the Belcher and Oomsal spells, is that it is good against this matchup too. So you have like a pretty clean swap now with the sideboard plan of just out the 1-mana black spells for these cards. I think you can also consider playing like a Narset over maybe an Abrupt Decay, which I think is fine. Yeah, I think Narset's good enough to play in this matchup. When are the PTs? They're next week, and so the first one I believe is Monday. So Monday's stream is going to be a PTQ, and then there's like, I think there's a Pioneer PTQ that starts at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, Um, and I think that if I play in that one, which I probably will, but if I play that one, it'll be like after the stream. And then there's I think another modern PTQ on Friday, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember when the legacy one is. There might actually not be a legacy one. I know there's a vintage one, there's a limited one, 2 moderns, and a pioneer. Probably a legacy one as well, but yeah. Yeah, more Uro. There's 2 PTQs I need to prep for, so we're gonna be try-harding for the next few days, just trying to figure out what we want to play in those. Queuing for another PTQ would be really nice because it would be 2 in a row, and it would be 2 in a row, and that would be a big deal, I think, especially if I can get another solid performance. I don't think that any effect illusions just has to be balanced around mana cost, right? So, there are very few lines of text that can exist on a creature that would be just always too good, because you could just have an appropriate mana cost for whatever. I'm going to keep this hand. Tails on the play is really nice. If we draw 1 blue source, we get to play Narset, which can be good too. And then if we draw another one, we have Cryptic, and we are a 27 land deck. We're like pretty likely to hit a land in the top 2. Not like a guaranteed thing, of course, but it would be nice. Well, opponent says they're a fan. Doesn't play around Tail's End. Cool. Well, I would disagree. I mean, at least that hasn't been my perception of the modern format. But there's also just nothing wrong with disliking the format. I think that's totally fine, and I would encourage you that if you dislike the modern format, to play a different format. Just try out something else if you want to play more Magic, or there are other games that exist. You don't need to force yourself to play.
It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Something that you're not enjoying. I think that's very important. I think we hit the mine. I think I'm just going to hit the mine right now so they can't Veil of Summer. Hinner, 2 months in a row. Poggers to you too. Welcome back. This is the Secret Lair metal Assassin's Trophy. Let me turn the heater off too. It's getting kind of hot in here. Oh boy, that's bad. Yeah. That's pretty bad. They got a coding. We need to draw a land for Cryptic, I guess. I guess we could Snap Trophy. Alright, now we can force the coding. Do I want to hold up Remand too? Do I want to play Uro? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna hold up the Remand. Well, that sucks. I pitched the Uro. Yeah, I feel like we're never tapping out for it. So one thing we could do is set up a turn where we Mystic Sanctuary Force of Negation and then brainstorm with Jace, and then that way we get to play Jace and counterspell something on their turn. They get the coding back, of course, because it exiles with the Force. So we can Snapcaster Assassin's Trophy a Tron piece. We can't Mystic Sanctuary Force this turn. If we Snapcaster Assassin's Trophy, Oh man, if they go coding, they target a land, then we can't Cryptic Command. They're Karn liberated. Yeah, I think we just Snapcaster Assassin's Trophy their mine right now, and then they can kill one of my lands, if that's like their whole play, and then we can attack Karn down. We just have to hope they don't have another mine. They also could have cracked their star here. I think we are supposed to play around Veil of Summer, but they could have cracked the star on my turn. Uh-oh, opponent. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, good, opponent. Good, 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 good. You can Sanctuary grow Spiral into Force. Well, so if we Spiral put this land into play, how are we drawing the Force? Yeah, we can't draw the Force, right? I also think that this is the line because we get to stop them from casting Karn liberated this turn, and we get to attack their Karn if they don't have mine. So I do think that this was the line. I'm just not sure how your line works exactly. They scry with the tome. Put a card on the bottom. They draw their card. Surely they didn't leave in Dismember, right? Oh, I left in Dismember. And don't call me Shirley. Well, we drew a Force of Negation, so I think we slammed Jace. I don't have a second breeding pool, so I think I'll just get Overgrown Tomb. I could get Island, and this way we could fetch a Sanctuary, but I think I just want to get green mana. I guess we have the Cryptic too. We're pretty likely to find a blue island, though. We did. All right. Does this do anything? I kind of feel like this doesn't do anything. Oh, sorry, it kills a land. Never mind. No veil. You will not veil! You cannot veil! Or shall not. Shall not veil. Dude, a wizard hat would be great. Oh, man. That'd be really cool. Esther! Let's get a wizard hat. Alright. I'm on it. Yeah.
A wizard hat, like a purple one with sparkles?
Like
stars on it?
Sure. Just like a standard wizard hat.
Oh,
you know?
nice. Okay, I'll do that.
Thanks. Alright. It's in the works. What are these Uro decks weak to? Different Uro decks are weak to different things. Like I would say that this version is like maybe the most soft to the 4-color version, but it like gains a lot of like cheap spot removal that's super nice. Let me get it back at Tail's End. Stop that O-Stone. Yeah, but I would say like specifically this Uro deck, like I don't really want to see the 4-color Uro deck because it is better at grinding with this deck. This version with all the Fatal Push and Abrupt Decays is much better against creature decks, while the 4-color Uro deck is soft to like, you know, Blue-Red Prowess, Black-Red Blood Moon. I think both of those are I think Heliod is also like a good matchup, against 4-color Uro, while the Sultai deck has like a pretty more even matchup spread against the field, in my opinion, which is what I like about it. Yeah, overall, just the metagame has got a pretty even. I don't know, the metagame feels fine overall. Like, the 4-color Uro decks really stink to play against, and they're not fun to play against. But I also have not felt like they have been oppressive. Like so oppressive that there's just like nothing that beats them. I should probably say that. I'm supposed to get a forest there because we have Uro. Good morning, Reyes. Make a 1/1 shark as well. Keep the ball rolling a bit. We have Snapcaster Talesyn for the stone activation. Or can just decay the stone now. Crack their star. They should not be cracking it now because they could draw Veil of Summer off the star. They would have to cast it now to use it. I'm assuming that they have Veil in their deck, but I mean, it's also just correct to bluff it, right? Well, a lot of answers to the stone. Maybe I'm not supposed to show them the Pithing Needle. They're dead to Snapcaster plus fetching for making another zombie. Yeah, I agree that Bant Stoneblade I think has a decent Uro matchup. And I've been, I think TSP Jindrik's list is pretty good. I had different ideas on how to approach building Bant Stoneblade, and I really wanted to play Hierarchs, and really what it comes back down to is I feel like you can't play Noble Hierarch and Archmage's Charm in the deck, and I was trying to build like a lot more creature heavy versions, and I just couldn't really find one that I felt was good. Opponent probably hasn't counted it up here, but they're dead. Alright, good game. I have to be on the draw for game 3. Is Decay better than Snare? I mean, Snare hits Scrying and Coding, which is not very much, but it's very good when it hits Scrying. It's very, very good when it hits Scrying. Also pitches to Force, yeah. Yeah, the way I feel about the 4-color decks, they win all the fair matchups, or at least I shouldn't say that. They're favored in all the fair matchups. And then other fair matchups get way more points against the more linear decks, the aggro decks, the combo decks, the big mana decks. I think that's kind of fine. Put them most to 6. Keep 6. Alright, turn 3 Tron. Plays around Talesyn this time. We don't have our Assassin's Trophy. But Talesyn does counter most of our opponent's threats here. Not Wormcoil Engine, I guess.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Ivory, 9 months in a row. Sub baby born. Welcome, welcome. Interesting. I think I'm going to hold the needle. We can go Spiral into Tail's End here. The 4-color decks are favored against the fair decks and gain points. So no. The 4-color decks are good against the well, I guess Blast Stone answers Needle. 4-color decks are good against basically every fair matchup and lose points against the linear decks. So the opposite. While other linear decks while other fair decks are like better against specific linear decks, while I really do feel like the 4-color deck loses a lot of points in those matchups. Alright, Spiral. Maybe I stumbled over my words again. I might just Needle O-Stone. O-Stone is also not doing very much here. Can't needle Chromatic Star because this is a mana ability. Can needle this Blast Zone. Could name Polluted Delta. So really, as long as we can avoid getting Ulamogged, I'm gonna feel okay. And if they don't Ulamog us this turn, there's a chance we can like Tails on the Ulamog trigger and then Cryptic Command the Ulamog and not even end up behind on cards. That is true. We can name Star with Needle. I probably should have said that. Okay, I'm not going to counter Ancient Stirrings nor Sylvan Scrying here. So I don't want to see Ulamog. I don't want to see an Eldrazi show up here. Okay, that's fine. I can use my Cryptic Commands. If they have like land plus another Karn, the Great Crater, good for them. But usually want to use your Cryptics pretty aggressively. Get your value. It's a good draw. Another star.
Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
Fat Mando, tier 1, thank you for your subscription. Hope you're having a good day today. That's a good suggestion for them to put the Tron lands in panorama order. Although I don't know that it would look necessarily right. They revealed a tower. They play another star. They definitely could have an Ulamog in their hand. We need one more blue source to go Tails in plus Charm. I think I'll just Jace try to find a land for have Tails End up this turn. We did. Thank goodness. If they Ulamog, they'll probably go after like Triome Jace. We'll just counter the Ulamog. You know, let them have their 3-for-1 and keep going. Play Urza's Mine. Got 2 cards left in their hand. One of them is the 4th Chromatic Star. They cannot O-Stone either because we have Needle naming it. But they can Blast Zone to kill my Needle and then sack O-Stone. But if they do that, we can Tails End the Oblivion Stone activation. I'll probably Remand the Ugin or Karn Liberated. Those are like the good Remand targets. Just Remand the Ulamog. Haven't done that too many times. But has 2 cards in their hand. They're not sure how they want to play this. They got 6 mana floating though. I think they're gonna go for the Crack Blast Zone, Crack O-Stone, which Tails End stops. Oh, they're putting counters on the zone. Interesting. That's fine. Tails End also stops that, but maybe not the most efficiently. I'd like to find a blue source here. They could have done that on my end of turn, so why not Tails End the Blast Zone activation? You don't want to Tails End this one. You want it's like it would be better to Tails End them sacrificing it because it actually gets rid of the Blast Zone. You don't want to Tails End them putting counters on the Blast Zone because the zone is still in play. But also, if they sack the Blast Zone, I think that I would just want to make them spend 5 mana also. On the... I don't have Charm up. I guess Tails End plus 4 should be fine. You want them to spend the 5 mana on the O-Stone, I think, but stopping future Oblivion Stones with Needle is relevant, so I could see making that argument of just countering the activation in that scenario, if that's what you're talking about. They play Sanctum of Ugin. Alright, if they have Ulamog in their hand, it's so bad for us, actually. And we just have a second Jace in our hand. Yeah, we actually just let this resolve, I think. This way they don't just, you know, play an Ulamog and win the game. They got 10 mana, and they act. Maybe that was just a pump fake. Kind of feel like that's what that was. I think I'm going to Jace instead of Uro. This is like a better chance of hitting my land drop. Found all of our Uros all clumped up. I'm not sure what's in their hand that they just tap 10 mana. Then you know, if that was they either don't have anything and that was just a pump fake, or I guess that's all it could be, right? That's all it could be. Like actually, just can't be anything else. All right, we're going to escape Uro this turn, so I think we want to do it before we brainstorm. Big Ballista. I mean, they just definitely would have cast it and like gotten the Noodle Mog off of Sanctum. I wanted to pitch Uro there. Feeling pretty good here. Yeah, it could have been maybe been checking how much mana they have, I guess. Tugging first, again, just making sure we can try to hit our land drops. Maybe shuffle some cards away here. Like the Uros. Or one Uro at least. Honestly, I feel like I want more Tails Ends than Cryptics, as funny as that is. And I guess instead of just sitting here doing actually nothing, I'll just get another Snapcaster to play, which cuts the clock in half too, which is nice. Is Hero Spider-Man this deck? Yeah. It says, I'm sure you have a time warp. I don't, but doesn't matter. Because I have enough counter spells, I think, to handle one more turn. Yeah, it is pretty nice that like blue control decks can just contend with Karn now, or Tron decks now. I think I'll just plus Jace too. Yeah, they can draw a Worm Coil Engine, doesn't trigger Sanctum. Just let it resolve and tap it with Cryptic Command, end of turn. We'll bounce it with Jace. Alright, 1-0 on the day. I kind of feel like Sultai's got legs since, you know, like I felt that Black Green was better when Once Upon a Time was legal, but Sultai is like not that hard to splash, and Neoform is really good in the deck. So I don't know if I'm going to revisit it because I don't think the deck is well positioned. So I don't think I'll revisit it anytime soon, but I could definitely see playing it again at some point. I'm just playing Sunken Hollow here. Yeah, the first episode of Cobra Kai was awesome. I was just like immediately hooked. Goodness. Well, I guess you just lose these games, right? When they have triple one drop on the play, you just lose them. What is one man supposed to do against so much hate? You know. I also feel like we have to decay this Bomat now, which does not feel very good. No Scourge. Golly. I mean, you know, we could draw perfectly from here. We could go Shark Typhoon into Fatal Push Uro and then draw another Fatal Push off of Uro. Maybe. Uro's gonna be the Spider-Man. Ah! We're also dead to any removal spell or Team or Battle Rage, so it's also not great. To bring in the Veils, the Gargaroths, and the Thirst. I'm not a big fan of Force in this matchup, nor Remand. So you have to find room for something else. Can play the first Gust is probably good. Charm is good in this matchup. Jace is not that good. I could see cutting the second Jace for the second Gust. This looks pretty good to me. I think this matchup is fine. Just like triple 1-drop into Inquisition's, you know, Bobat, Swift Spear, Inquisition Scourge, Fatal Push your blocker on the play. Hard to beat. Hard to beat. What do I wish was a playable / better deck in Modern? Stoneblade. I've been all of my off-stream prep this week has been me trying to find, you know, a build of Stoneblade that's not TSP Gendrix's list, although maybe I'll just play his list. Because I think his list is good. I really want to play a Hierarchs if I want to be banned, and I have some like ideas for blue-white, and I just keep getting crushed when I'm testing off stream with it, so I've been really wanting to play some Stoneblade and just haven't been able to. Yeah, one time banned in Modern. And you know, it's good in the banned Stoneblade deck's fine, I think, and the Hammer Time deck, Stoneforge Mystic is good there. Just like blue-white Stoneblade's not very good right now. You want Grixis to be a playable color combination in Modern? I've been playing a Grixis Sprite Dragon deck a little bit. I might play like a league of it today. I think that deck's good.
I'm gonna go. Athena, come here.
Okay, have a good day, sweetie.
No, it's not free. Go sit in your dog bed.
She'll come when she wants to. Tina's on her own schedule. I would like to Veil of Summer something, please. I just want to register 3x Esper Charm. You can. No one will stop you. And no one will stop Esper Charm for being wildly mediocre. What does Grixis control need to be playable good in Modern? Probably Uro banned. It's like the best payoffs for Grixis are Drown to the Lock and Into the Story, in my opinion. And Uro not only is like such a resilient threat against the Grixis' removal suite, but is also turns off like Grixis' payoffs, which is, in my opinion, the problem with Grixis. All right, if I draw Uro, we get to kill Scourge, so I don't want to push right now. Cool. I'm a master, okay? I am an absolute master of this game. I'm the best around! No one's ever gonna keep me down! Also, I saw this swamp today, and I'd never seen it before, and it's beautiful. I tried to find lands that paired with it. I feel like I didn't really succeed. So if anybody has ideas of what I can pair with this swamp, let me know. Honestly, that song started playing in my ears like as soon as I drew the Uro. And today is PTQ prep day, so I got my Karate Kid music playing. I'm in boot camp. I'm top deck at Uro. We're sweeping the leg. We're striking first. We're striking hard, and we're showing no mercy. Cobra Kai forever. Who's my Mr. Miyagi? Athena. Athena is Mr. Miyagi. What, sweetheart?
Bye, baby.
Bye, sweetheart. Have a good day. I love you. Is there a chance Uro will be banned at Modern? I don't know. There's always a chance, right? I don't make the rules. If I was in charge of if I was in charge, I would ban it. I'm not in charge still for some reason. Wait, they're gonna dismember my Uro plus burn it. It's pretty bad value. Oh, this is so they can attack with Bomat Courier? Okay. It's fine. Good morning, Jeff. Double Shadow, huh? Let me decay one. What was that Dismember about? I guess just so they can attack and play the shadows. Seems like a fine play. Though a bit weird, I guess. I'm just gonna attack first here. Do I have any concern that an Uro ban would make Burn and Prowess decks too good? Not really. Those decks are just... If those decks are the best decks in the format, I think Modern's in a good shape, you know? They're just not unbeatable. I've moved Athena's dog bed under the desk and she's here. Now that Esther is gone for the day. Good girl. Yeah, just like I'm not worried about the burn decks being too good. If they're too good, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I also think despite the fact I think Uro should be banned, I do think Modern is in a relatively good shape. I have a lot of fun every time I wake up and play it. I think the metagame is balanced and evolving. You know, like the red-black mid-range deck, the Hammer Time deck, the Skydiver Ponza decks, like are all like brand new. You know, or not. I guess Hammer Time's not brand new, but it's becoming very dominant. The meta is evolving and changing, despite the fact that these Uro decks are really good. You know. Alright, this should win. I guess they could have Fatal Push, because they do have Revolt right now. Bolt themselves to grow the shadows. Are we bouncing between decks today? We'll see, Spider-Ham. I want to play probably one league of Blue-Red Through the Breach. And, no, I think that the Bant Ephemerate deck is the deck I'm on, but this deck has like real chops to be what I choose to play in the PTQs. I'm probably not going to play Jeskai. Might play Miracles. I think we keep this on the draw. It's like hard to mulligan in this matchup, and we have 2 removal spells. Mine Ice Age, Horizons. I'm not a big fan of any of the Snow Basics, honestly. I think the Ice Age ones are the best, but none of them really speak to me. I don't, like, hate them, of course, but they just aren't my preferred basic land art. Garg is a good draw. Harry has redeemed a pet Athena. Well, I'll pet her, but I can't actually angle the camera so you can see. But she's here and she is good. Yes, she is. She's very good. Discarding Vista. Yeah, I'm really digging the Eyeball Swamp, but if anybody has any ideas of basic lands I can pair with this, let me know. Hey Doom, how's it going? I'd love to gust something here. Can't quite Uro to kill a Scourge either. They probably take my Garg, right? I think maybe they take Uro if they have some graveyard hate. I mean, Uro's gonna be my play next turn, so they could just like hope I have the Swamp in play. It may be hard for me to escape Uro. Yeah, I also think like you could print a token emblem that says all basic lands are treated as snow, and you could just present it at the beginning of the game. I think that would be fine. Inelegant for sure. Would definitely work on Arena, so I could actually see it being something that Wizards would do, right? Because it would work on Arena. Oh, our opponent didn't reveal Lurrus because they sided in Blood Moon. Just now realized that. Which is actually kind of fine with our hand, right? Yeah, they sided in Blood Moon is why they didn't reveal Lurrus. I'd cycle the Triome. Or Nikachu suggested a really good snow hate. I mean, that would be ideal, but the problem with that is that if Wizards is going to print really good snow hate, it stinks for them to have to do it in the set where they have printed all of these snow cards, you know? It like just isn't that it is awkward that if they're going to have the snow mechanic be their like standard mechanic, and if they want the snow decks to be viable, if all of a sudden you have all this snow hate, it just is awkward. Push is a good draw. I think I'm going to draw Step Gust. I don't really want my opponent to discard my push. Yeah, I know that Snow Hate doesn't make sense without snow cards in this set. It's just like, you print all these snow cards for standard. So like, how efficient of Snow Hate can you make it, you know? It's like, if snow can just never be viable because you have like, you know, 2 mana destroy all snow permanents or snow lands don't untap. Like if the snow hate is just so good that it hates it out of the format, like what are you to do? And I feel like it just does put them in an awkward spot. Design wise at least. All right, no boil, no boil, no boil, no boil, no boil. Uro! Ah! That's how Uro looks whenever you escape it. Just carrying the game by itself. I guess I'm leaving Fatal Push in my yard. A Snow Tabernacle. Snow does not count towards Delirium, no. Would I consider this deck tier 1 in the metagame? I would not consider it tier 1 because my definition of tier 1 is just how popular decks are, you know? And Sultai Control is not so popular that it's tier 1. But I think this deck is very good, and it's certainly one I'm considering playing in next week's PTQs. I think this deck is very, very good. And we're kind of try-harding today, you know? This is PTQ boot camp for next week's PTQs. Although, if this was really boot camp, maybe I should have actually eaten breakfast today, huh? Tribal does count towards Delirium, yes. Oh boy. Not dead yet. We're not quite dead. They don't play, like, Apostle's Blessing, do they? I don't think so. We could steal this Sigarda's Aid. We can also spiral into Archmage's Charm if we want to, and steal Sigarda's Aid. I'll probably just Assassin's Trophy the Nexus, though. Yeah, it's 3 mana for them to attack with Nexus. Seems good to me. Do I know how the Mythic event tokens work? Is it basically a rental program? So the idea behind the Mythic tokens is that they are going to be, you know, effectively an entry for, let's counter this. Although, yeah, we're not dead to a 0 mana creature. Their hand is 2 Hammers Mystery card, and I don't want them to draw a card. The way they work is they're effectively an entry to a PTQ that will allow you to activate. All right, I'm gonna bank on drawing either Fatal Push or a green or black land here. Cool. Sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. It's hard to stream sometimes. They are an entry for a tournament that will give you a full MTGO collection to ensure that you can play whatever deck you want for this online tournament, kind of as a way to get people playing Magic during this global pandemic, I think is like the main idea. Yeah, we're not dead, right? Yeah, they activate both, and then they only have enough mana to... I guess if they have a 0 mana creature to tap for drum, because their hand is 2 hammers. So if their other card is a 0 mana creature, they can actually put a hammer on both nexuses here. Don't you need to buy 2 to enter the events? No, I believe the way it works, and I may be wrong, is 1 token can be used to enter 1 event and will allow you to use any deck you want effectively, which I think is a very good incentive program. It's 2 tokens per event? Okay, then I have it wrong then. Why did this deck switch from red-white to red-black? Well, it's actually mostly mono-white splashing black for sideboard cards. I think you meant to say white-black. But Pure Steel Paladin is real good, and the other list didn't play Pure Steel Paladin, so... that would be the reason. Mythic tokens is just to get cards, no entry. I see. I misunderstood then. Oh no! Assassin's Trophy kills us! Fuck. I should have foreseen that. But I'm not sure what we're doing instead. It's actually pretty cool though. This card has downsides? I don't even know what it does. It just looks cool. Like who can read this? Yeah, maybe I am supposed to go after 8. It's just so bad if they draw, you know, another one. It's just like, you know, we're dead if they draw another one there. But maybe you're right. I think I would like to get a Triome with this hand, and one thing we can do is spiral into push next turn, even if we get Triome. But yeah, but they also aren't definitely going to play a 1-mana creature. Yeah, Hammer Time is a very good deck, and it's becoming very popular and is well on its way to be a huge player in the format. Adina is so good. She is so good. Hey, Koji. So we can needle that Nexus, which is the main target. Probably going to wait a turn so I can hold up these cards. Cryptic Command, Midnight. A Luris in the hand is worth 2 Uros in the deck. Get a plating. Now they do get a plating. If they play equip and attack, I'll just decay the plating. I don't think I need to. Yeah, I don't think I need to snare it or cryptic. Maybe I should have. I don't even feel like it matters very much. Might even just take 2, you know. Is this just to make the creature bigger with plating? I think I want to counter this one. The trample is pretty tough if I have all these sharks. They could also have a Pure Steel Paladin, but we have Spell Snare for that. Yeah, I guess they have Pure Steel Paladin in their hand. Was anything printed to push this deck, or did someone want to do some brewing? My deck or their deck? Yeah, I think the Grixis Sprite Dragon deck's good. I mean, just Hammer Time is just a good deck, honestly. And it also kind of has maybe always been a good deck, and just people are discovering how powerful it is, you know what I mean? Like, the cards have been here for a while, and people are just kind of now realizing. Nice. We could needle Hammer to stop them from equipping with Pure Steel Paladin. It's probably fine. And I think I'll leave both sharks back. We have a Jace. We don't need to do anything. Needle Nexus. We already have a Needle Naming Nexus, so probably not. You like needling Inkmoth? You guys blind? Yeah, I do feel like humans is gonna be making a comeback. In my testing last night, I played against humans twice, and I played against humans twice in my testing last night, and I was watching Doom, who was playing against humans in the mirror for 5-0. I think I saw someone else playing against humans too on stream last night, so definitely agree that it's primed to make a comeback. Oh my gosh, their graveyard is popping out to stop me from casting my Force of Negation. Yeah, I was watching Doom. Deck seems pretty good right now. Part of the reason why I wanted to play Sultai today is because like a lot of the other decks I play have a poor humans matchup. Let me actually draw this fetch land so I can Sanctuary the Cryptic and then draw it off of Jace. This game's over, of course. And opponent knows it. Do you know why most of the Hammer Time decks lists don't play Giver? It is my impression that most Hammer Time decks play for Giver. So we have conflicting impressions of the archetype. I could be wrong because I don't look too closely at lists. But I think that you should play for Giver, and I think most lists do. I think it's pretty bad against most Uro decks. I kind of agree. I think it's okay against 4-color. Actually, I perceive that matchup is close. But I might be wrong about that. But like the 3-color Uro decks, I think it struggles against for sure. His hand has Uro in it, but wait a mulligan. His hand has no black mana. His hand also has no black mana, but I think we've done enough mulliganing. How good is Uro? Pretty good. I'll show you instead of telling you. At least we're on the draw on the mold of 5. This is Uro. Holding everything together. Ah! That wasn't my best impression yet. Great draw. No damnation inside, even if you perceive a research in humans. I'm playing Elder Gargaroth, which is much better against the Swiftspear decks, in my opinion. Much better. And very, very good against humans. Dude, opponents has all just a super clunky hand. Named Jace, I guess. I mean, my hand's bad too. It's always fun when both players just have terrible hands. Ding, ding, ding. That image appears to imply Uro is actually helping. Sound like something that Jonah Jameson would say. Get me pictures of Uro! Am I decaying the Sigarda's right now? Their hand is hammer plating. If they have land, second aid, we lose. Because we died to the hammer. It's probably fine to just not play around that. Uro is a hero all along, I just couldn't see it. Oboro qualifies me for a PT, which it hasn't yet. Alright, they have land. If they're one unknown card is Zagoth Triome, we die. Just equipping plating, I guess, is a lot of damage too, but it's fine. You can decay in response to the hammer, but yes, but what if they have a second hammer? Or just the plating, you know? We've had one hammer, yes, but what about second hammer? Pretty worried about this Uro, TBH. How was Lord of the Rings the other day? Awesome. Although the extended cut would cost $20, while the theatrical cut was free to watch. So I have a friend who's gonna loan me the extended cuts, and I'll be watching them soon. But sadly, I couldn't watch the extended cuts the other day. Dude, this Lurrus is so good here. I was really hoping to draw Cryptic or Charm. Why not save the fetch for pushing Lurrus? Because our mana's situation is awkward. Getting the Triump's kind of nice, and we have Decay for Lurrus. So they're not getting back Paladin. They're getting back Bauble? Deal. They didn't get back Zagoth Triome or Paladin? And push also answers Nexus. You need to save it for that and use Decay on Lurrus. You got an ad even though you're subbed. And if you use an ad blocker, you still get ads, I think. I don't have a comment on that. But if you disable your ad blocker and you're subbed, you should not get ads anymore. Do I want to get back the push or Decay? I already have a push for the Nexus. Opponent's last card in hand is Hammer. A second removal spell would be really nice if my opponent plays like a Paladin, so I think this is worth it. They also might use their Crypt here, which is fine. Yeah, I don't really care. Yeah, it's definitely not like a setting I have a control over. Those silent clearings are looking really good too. The Hammer Time deck is so grindy. I mean, we mulled to 5 also. I should maybe it feels like it's a little grindier than it is right now. We know one of their cards is Hammer. We don't know any of the other cards. Damn it. I guess you can force the Hammer. And then push the Nexus. I'm going to do this after they attack so they can't sack the clearing, and hopefully we draw something. Double clearing is so good. Jace into removal spell would be the best, but I even sided out a Jace in this matchup, I think. No, I have 2 is still in. Okay. That makes me feel a bit better. Typhoon. Oh, they also have a Bauble, right? Jeez Louise. I can maybe get them to cast an equipment, though, like a hammer that they draw for no value by not pushing right now. Oh, Needle is naming Jace. Glad I didn't draw it then. That's a 2-for-1, baby. We're crawling back. Crawling and clawing back. Yeah, Jace is actually the worst top deck. Wow. Ah! Oh my gosh, dude. Oh man, that's bad. Just cast your Paladin, dude. Cast your freaking Pure Steel Paladin. What the hell? Stop. What? A bauble could be anything. It could even be a Paladin. What the hell? Now if I just draw a removal spell, we're in fine shape. Of course, I draw Misty Rainforest. I could get Pure Steel Paladin into play. Or I could draw anything. It could even be a Paladin. Alright, they did the thing. Arrow just a little too late. Almost won on that mold of 5. I guess putting back Decay number 2. If I knew the matchup, I'd keep the second one. Congrats on your shadow points, I spoke. Probably Storm. I think Storm's the only deck that, like, the only, like, common deck that plays this card, right? Good read, Spike. Bloodchief's Thirst definitely much worse than Push in this matchup. The Awkward Charm. What's my favorite Kaldheim card so far? Pass. Not sure. Yeah, the new Birthing Pod's cool. The new Dwarf is cool. The new, like, Sultai Snow card is cool. The black 3-mana 6/6 is pretty cool. Putting a mono blue Storm over there. Man, this basic swamp sucks to draw so much. The mana's not great in this deck, I will admit. I'm trying to play as many blue sources as I can, and now all of a sudden our hand comes together, but the mana is a little shaky. Yeah, kind of weird that they didn't find red mana after casting 4 cantrips, too. No, if they play Baral, it's unlikely to be Twiddle Storm, right? We can escape Uro here. I don't think we need to. We can, like, Snap Charm end of turn. Hold up Cryptic plus push. Is it good that Kaldheim is unfun? I don't know if it's way too early to call it unfun, right? But it definitely does feel like a lower power level set than what we've been seeing. And I think that that's a fine thing. And I do think that it will make an impact on Modern, but not nearly as much as many of the other recent sets. If they have Empty, things are bad, but not necessarily unbeatable. So I don't think we're... I mean, if we counter the Ritual, they can still Empty. Wait, is it really double Grape Shot? Oh, it's Remand. Just counter the Remand. My heart was sinking a bit. Counter the Grape Shot? I guess that's better. Yeah, that's better. We just are at 1 higher life total. We'll give it to him. It's a freebie. Kind of like Jace Plus. Opponent's top decking. Bottom that. I'm a genius. Dude, their library was Past in Flames gifts. Woo! That's pretty good. Give him 2 rituals in the hand. I think I want to keep that land. I guess fun is subjective. Just feels wild to me to call a set that we haven't even played with unfun yet. But it's hard to argue again about something like that, I guess. I guess we actually just counter the first spell they play. Make them tap their mana. So just a little bit better. Probably getting a concession here, right? You would assume. Yeah, you can't argue with someone saying something's unfun, really. This feels early to me. I would say that we're a little ahead here. Say we're maybe a street or 2 ahead, even. Isn't brainstorming before attacking better? I mean, I like attacking first so you get to see more cards. And, you know, it doesn't matter even a tiny bit, like, as far as, like, winning the game goes, but in general, like, unless you really feel like you need to hit your land drops, I like attacking first, so that you can see the most cards possible if you don't find a fetch land. Alright, I think Thirst is bad. I think we don't want Trophy. Kind of done to trim a Spiral. Usually want to cut, like, maybe I'll just cut all the Gusts. I mean, Gust is like a fine card, but maybe I don't actually ever want to tap out for Jace. I could see that being the case too. We brought a Narset, which is a bit better. This looks pretty good to me. Tailsin matchup. Tailsin is only good. Countering Brawl is good. Countering Into the Warrens is good. But countering Grape Shot is not good. They're going to usually be able to Grape Shot you again. So I think you don't want it. Like, it is not better than I think any card here. So I'm not going to choose to play it. What is my matchup like against Mono Green Tron? We played against it in round 1. I think it's okay. They're probably a little bit favored, but you can definitely win. And, like, we have, you know, 3 Tails in and a couple Pithing Needles in the sideboard for the matchup. So, okay, I would say. Definitely going to use Push over Snare here. Snare is a super premier card in this matchup. You like Tails in on the play because Fast Empty is a real play on the draw? I don't know. I think that... we can let this go. I really think that it just feels so narrow to me. I think I'm gonna gust this. Yeah, they are trying to empty, but I think like you can often just kind of like fight them on this, and a lot of times Uro beats empty if it's, you know, small enough number. And I don't know. It's also like when they're ritualing, it's like you usually don't have the luxury of hoping that they're just on empty. And like Tailsin doesn't stop their plan A. They're like, you know, the main way they combo usually just doesn't do anything against them, and like that I think that alone just makes it too bad to play. They also could definitely be playing Boils. I don't know if we've seen an island yet. Alright, that's fine. I guess we don't need to counter the first ritual. We can counter the second one. Tailsin, yeah. Countering Grape Shot doesn't really matter, but you can counter Baral or Empty, and I think that's just not enough. We saw a few basic island, no steam vents. Okay, cool. Couldn't remember. Oh, they could still play a land. Shit. I didn't realize they had a land to play. That's on me. I should have counted their ritual. Damn it. Yeah, I was supposed to snap push. Well, that was a misplay. I'm doing well, Jake. JK, how are you doing today? Yeah, I really thought they had played a land. I think I'm playing Sanctuary on turn 1, just trying to make sure we can Cryptic on turn 4. You don't like... we've been talking about that. I do not Freed Mania. I do not. Like, please, somebody tell me like what card they think Tails End is better than if you're really in the Tails End camp. Tell me like which card you think Tails End is better than, but I think it's too narrow, and we have like, you know, every other card we have is meaningful interaction. I guess I should have just gusted it on the stack. Growth Spiral? Okay, I think that is maybe true. I don't know. I think that's fine. Possibly. I have to think about it. You don't think you need that many fatal pushes? I don't know. Like, they have 8 mana guys. We have 4 pushes and 2 decays. Seems like a fine ratio to be on. But in third Cryptic and second Thirst, I don't have the second Thirst in the deck. I have 0 in the deck right now. But it is, you know, always more helpful, of course, to tell me what you want to play instead. It's likely they're boarding out some number of mana guys, sure. But I think it's like, even if they board out 4, we still have 4 push for their 4 guys. And I would say that any number of Tails End would be worse than any number of push. Spiral is also not, you know, necessarily bad against them. I'm going to Cryptic this. I'm going to Sanctuary Gust as well. I think I want to do it in response to the trigger. I might draw a different card I would like to pitch to Force. I would not be Crypticing here unless I had a Force of Negation, I think, by the way. I don't want to counter this. Just like, you know, we'll just, you know, trade resource, trade resource, trade resource. Go Uro plus Gust here. Is Brawl really relevant? I think because we have Force of Negation and like if they just play Brawl and pass, it's a disaster. Like, we really want to be able to Cryptic Command something here. And if we can, you know, if we get both off the field here, if we like want to draw step Gust the Electromancer, maybe. Like, I would not have done that if I didn't have the Force, of course, but I think it's just good to trade resources. This possibly gets blown out, but I think I'm just gonna say this is a 1-for-1. You have 4 cards in your hand. Try to kill me. Radiant Danielle, if you exclamation point deck, you can always find the deck I'm playing. Could definitely die, I guess. But we've just traded so many resources that it's, you know, seems like they don't have it. Huh. So we don't have enough. We don't have enough to escape Uro and Decay. I think we just Decay. Do you think the meta would be different if paper tournaments would still be going on? No. In my opinion, even when paper tournaments were around, Magic Online was always a better indicator of what the metagame was than paper tournaments. Just like, you process data so much faster, it's more competitive by like a decent margin. A lot of times in paper, people like just play the deck that they own, you know? I'm gonna graveyard the rituals. play this so we can pay for Mystical Dispute. I'm gonna leave Force of Negation in my yard. Doesn't really matter too much because we have both Sanctuaries in play. Yeah, Heliod would be popular. That's a good point for sure. But I don't know. It does seem like people have this perception that like their local meta is more relevant than Magic Online, which has never been my experience. Just like Magic Online has always, in my opinion, been just like the indicator of the top decks of the format. With some exceptions, like combos that don't function as well online, like Heliod combo. KCI is another good example, back when that deck was popular. So opponent's hand is Manamorphose, Pass and Flames, now 2 mystery cards. That's a really good mystery card. If they have a Ritual as the one unknown, which they do, we lose. Damn it. We definitely punted game 2 there, but feels bad. Keep this. Sure thing, Full Wagon. Just let me know. Just post the deck you may do deck tech on in the chat. Got some time here. I'd probably play the 4th Emery over the Luris in this list. I also think the Academy Ruins in your Grixis deck is just like probably bad. Like your Grixis deck that needs triple blue lands for War of Invention in your 22 land deck. I would just play a colored source of like I probably wouldn't play Inventor's Fair either. Like in your 22 land deck with 4 drops and Whir. Just like if you're gonna play these 2 cards, you need to have like 24 lands. And if you're gonna have 22 lands, you need to, I think, play, you know, colored sources. The first Mox Amber I also think is good, at least the first copy. Not sure exactly where you're making room for that, but I do think you want to play the first Mox Amber, at least. 3 Witching Well also feels like a lot for that card. Like, you could play, like... It doesn't, like, tap for blue for Whir, which kind of stings. I like the Sideboard, Damping Sphere, and Spell Skite. Extra Explosives. I don't understand what this random Inquisition is doing. Like, usually Thoughtseize is the much better discard spell to play post-board because of, the Titan decks. Yeah, these archetypes are definitely not my specialty, so certainly take everything I say with a grain of salt, but these are just my initial impressions. So we can push in Decay, right? Yeah, we can. Seems good to me. I guess I'm just going to do it now so they can't crack their Bomat. They Spyro. Do I play Bluetron? I'm playing Bluetron next Thursday for a Dono deck. People keep paying me to play it. That's not one of my favorite decks, though. Opponent has Spyro, Mystery card. If their Mystery card is Blood Moon, we're kind of in trouble, but I think I'm going to force this. Okay, it wasn't Blood Moon. It was hopefully a land. Cool. I think a voting custom ban list would be a sweet turning idea. Maybe. I feel like people may get like super opinionated and might in practice end up being less sweet. Yeah, I think we're playing 4 Shark Typhoon in the Dona deck for next week. I'm playing Field of the Dead and Sunken Hollow. We just needed them to not draw Blood Moon and we're good. They have 3 looks. They have 2 cards left in their hand. Draw land, we get to trigger Field, which is nice. Oh, no we don't. We just get to trigger it no matter what, which is also nice. They put Obosh, the Prey Piercer, into their hand. So if we play this, it means we can't Sanctuary, but it does mean we get an extra zombie off of Vista. And nothing we can Sanctuary can deal with Obosh anyways. So let's go for the extra Zomboy. Yeah, the more and more I play with discard spells, the more I feel like Thoughtseize is much better than Inquisition in this meta, but I still see people playing more Inquisitions than Thoughtseize because that's how it used to be for a long time, just because of how prevalent Burn was. But there's like a million Primeval Titans and, you know, 4 mana, 5 mana threats now. How do I feel about Spirits? I think Spirits is decent. I always lose to it. It has like a good blue matchup. It has like probably an amazing like 4-color Uro matchup too, but I bet that matchup is super lopsided in Spirit's favor. So if you're looking for a deck to beat up on 4-color Uro, I recommend it. Game is over. Why are we still playing? What? I don't think this game's over. Got no spells in my hand. They've got an Obosh in play. Getting an island for my Sanctuary. Oh, well, maybe now the game's over, but... Yeah, if we let the MTG community do the ban list thing, they'd ban the Secret Lair arts. Can't have that. Yeah, we don't have too many answers to 5-mana creatures, but that's one of our... We have 1 Thirst, 1 Trophy, we've got Cryptic Commands too. We're drawing Assassin's Trophy, so... Oh, right, this they have Soulscar Mage to shrink the Uro. However, if they double block, we get to Trophy the Mage, and then keep our Uro around. Which they are going to accept. Do you think a Jeskai Flash deck has game against Uro with Spell Queller? Probably not a Jeskai version, just because like the red cards that you get are terrible against the 4-color Uro deck. You know, Lightning Bolt is so bad against them. And it's not like Queller is okay against those decks, but it's not like I play Spell Queller, I have a good 4-color Uro matchup. It's definitely just not the reality. Alright, so Uro down. Can't escape it again. And they get to play... Oh, wow, they drew 2 Bone Crushers. So instead of Stomp plus Firebolt, they go for Stomp, Stomp, Crusher, which makes sense. We can sacrifice a zombie to deal 6 damage, but I think with them having a second Bone Crusher, we'll just be a little more patient. Yeah, Blue-White Stoneblade's okay against 4-color Uro too. I have found that to be the case. Opponent can't attack, right? Maybe they just have to. Maybe they just have to. We lost to Storm, and we lost to Hammer Time. Made some misplays. I don't think I want to get back Assassin's Trophy. Although maybe it would be good Blood Moon protection. Yeah, maybe we should have. Since Blood Moon is like, it feels like the only card we lose to. Just so slow to get it back here. Much better draws. You've been playing the Jeskai Flashblade. I figured. I figured. Oh, sorry, you weren't the same Asker. I don't know. I like... Oh, man, Spyro into Spyro. Yeesh. Why do I think Tron isn't as popular recently? I mean, there's like... Monastery Swiftspear decks are a huge part of the format, but... I mean, Tron is still part of the metagame. Yeah, the zombies can deal with the Spyros, and I think the way we lose is our opponent resolves a Blood Moon, so let's just make sure they can't do that. They've seen like so many cards without finding one, unless they somehow just have cut them. Did I see the preview for Mystical Reflection? No. I mean, maybe I did because I don't know any of the names of the cards, so it's possible I have seen it. But if you're gonna ask me about a new card, describe it to me. Very slowly. Don't know why they're main phasing this. I didn't know. I would say that I think Magic Aids is a good brewer. I would probably be very hesitant to think that he has broken it, though, with the new Tybalt's Trickery. Do not be deceived by clickbait titles, my friend. So we can Decay and Trophy to get Uro back, but again, we just lose to Blood Moon, so we'll save one. Do not be deceived by clickbait content. He breaks Magic on a regular basis. Magic Aids is a good brewer, for sure. I haven't seen the list. Magic Aids, I doubt that Tybalt's Trickery has broken Magic, though. I really doubt it. I'd have to see it to believe it. Yeah, the shit posting is fine. I'm not condemning the shit posting either. I'm just saying, it probably isn't true. It's a hard world out there for content creators. My editor clickbaits all the time, and I have no problem with it either. Shout out to the YouTube if this video goes on YouTube. I don't make the titles. I'm helpless. It's all gloom. It's all Gloomshot. Somebody save me. So I don't want Remand. I don't want Spell Snare. I probably don't want Assassin's Trophy. They're just so good at grinding. Then we can cut the second Jace too. Spiral's fine. Do a Needle. They usually bring in a bunch of relics. Although, I've seen them play Surgical over Relic recently, so maybe I'll save this once I see Relic for Game 3. Why not bounce the Sanctuary with Cryptic? I want to draw cards I can put into my graveyard so I can escape Uro, and that does not further that game plan. I think it's amazing in Standard. I mean, you have a 4 in 7 chance of putting an Ugin into play on turn 2 if your entire deck is 4 Stonecoil Serpent, 4 Ugin, 4 Tybalt's Trickery. And you have to mulligan to a hand that has 2 lands, Tybalt's Trickery, Stonecoil Serpent, which you cannot do every single time, but you will do so very consistently. and then whenever you hit a second Tybalt's Trickery, your deck will just do nothing. And then also a turn 2 Ugin has to win you the game, which it is not definitely going to do. So I don't know. I'm pretty hesitant. You're talking about the blue spell? I haven't seen it. Okay, we'll take a look. Is this Mystical Reflection? Is this is another card that can turn 2 Ugin? Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time that at least one creature or planeswalker enters the battlefield this turn, they enter as a copy of chosen creature. Weird card. I'm gonna keep this the draw. Oh, you can counter an opponent's Ugin. I don't know. I just see a lot of people talking about the turn 2 Ugin deck, which will be fun and people will play at F&M, but you know, it's not probably going to be a successful strategy. Need to draw a land, hopefully. We do see relics. I'll be bringing in needles for game 3. Am I going to force this? I think we need to save force for Blood Moon. If you play one Tybalt's Trickery, one Stone Coil, one Ugin, and you draw them every game, or I guess... Alright, here's how that deck works. You mulligan and you find 2 mountains, Tybalt's Trickery, Stone Coil Serpent. You're very excited. You play Mountain on turn 1. Like, oh boy, I've drawn it. I'm going to definitely turn 2 Ugin. And then you're going to go to your second turn and you're going to draw the Ugin. 100% of the time. Do I want to Force plus Gust with Spear, or do I want to Gust the Moon? I think I want to Gust the Moon. It's pretty bad for us if they just have a second Blood Moon, especially because we need to charm this Bomat. They put the Moon on top, and we're kind of like time walking them here too. Play 4 Ugins, okay. Deck solved. You can also play 4. You can play 4 Stone Coil Serpent too. You just have to play 1 Tybalt's Trickery and always draw it. Okay, so now we can push Bomat and then hold up Gust. I think this is good. Oh yeah, now the Moon's under Bomat, of course. I foresaw this, of course. It was definitely on my radar. So the thing is, Tybalt's Trickery can hit other copies of Tybalt's Trickery, but it can't hit the same card that it counters. So, oh wait, so if you only play 1 Tybalt's Trickery, 4 Stone Coil Serpent, 4 Ugin in Standard, you will always hit Ugin off of it, unless you keep your hand Trickery, Stone Coil Serpent. So you lost that match where you only had 1 Ugin in your deck, but now it's next week at F&M. You now have 4 Ugins. You draw your first Ugin for turn, and you're like, yes, I have prepared for this. I have prepared for this by having 4 Ugins in my deck. Then you cast Tybalt's Trickery, and then you have to mill 3 cards, because 3 is the number chosen, and you mill Ugin, Ugin, Ugin. And then you put the deck away forever. I'm going to put Monastery Swift Spear on top. I think I'm just going to draw 2 cards here. I know we can steal Swift Spear, but I really want to keep this ball going a bit. And now we can force them to pop their Relic if we Sanctuary, or at least like ask them politely to. If they don't, that's fine too. They put the Obosh into their hand. Our life total is getting real low. We still haven't drawn green mana neither. We need to save this charm for Obosh. If you hit Trickery, you get to replay it for free. Is that how it works? If you hit Trickery, no, because there's not a spell on the stack for you to Trickery, right? So there'd have to be another spell on the stack that you control. Feels like a big old hoop to jump through.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
So my opponent's last card is Obosh, the Prey Piercer. So I think I'm going to go steal their Mage, then block, and if they Lava Dart, we can force the Dart, and then our Mage survives. The crew fix 4 months in a row. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate ya. Gonna pop their relic now. Their hand is Obosh, and they have a relic that can sack. I would love for them to pop relic end of turn, and I can snap charm in response. I'm gonna try. Hopefully we get to do that. They also might go like land tap out for Obosh, but I guess then they can just tap their relic. Unless we block with Monastery Swift Spear. Yeah, if we block with Monastery Swift Spear, and they don't tap relic first. Okay, so now I'll just cast this, and then this stops them from playing the Obosh this turn. No, wait, they're letting me cast it. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. I'm just gonna yoink this, and then we can Bloodchief's Thirst the Obosh. What a spew, dude. Gotta save my relic. I will never pop Relic of Progenitus. I will only exile Uro with Relic of Progenitus. And I guess they have Blast Zone, but whatever. Yeah, nobody has ever sacrificed Relic to draw a card in the history of the spell. Oh, we can't kick. This is double black to kick. Uh-oh. Our mana is obviously bad. Maybe I should have drawn 2. And they still didn't sack Relic to draw a card, despite just sending it to the graveyard here. Still never sacked the Relic under any circumstance. Finally. I'll take a look at it when I get around to it, Fet. Okay, well we have outs to this. We have 2 more Aether Gusts and 3 Cryptic Commands to draw. Yo, MTG. What is your confidence boost for? Alright, can we please draw something? Guess not. How crazy would it be to cut Field of the Dead from this deck and just have good mana? Probably crazy. You just wanted to redeem some points? Love it. I still can't believe my opponent just didn't sack Relic. I don't know. Alright, let's... Oh, that was game 2. We won game 1. Okay. Cool. So we did see Relic. I'm going to bring in the Needles, I think. I think Jace is not that good in this matchup. I think you need to keep the Forces just because Moon is so important. I'll probably cut the 4th Spiral. Maybe I want Bloodchief's Thirst, too. Just having that extra answer to Obosh is kind of nice. Seems fine. I also don't know if I'm going to get a snack or if I'm just going to drink espresso until lunchtime. Sounds good. Do you have to play 2 fields? I don't think you have to, but I think it's if you play field, it's good to play 2. So the second relic, I don't think I'm forcing. Maybe I could. I mean, their relic was pretty bad last game because they just never wanted to draw a card with it, so. And they're not tapping it either. Garg is good, so now I guess we want to get an island, but if we are afraid of Blood Moon, which we shouldn't be because we have Force, we can just get a forest. I'd love to also have this Force in my hand when I get to cast Gargaroth. Taking 1. If they cast light at the stage, we can't really... Yeah, I can't hard cast Force, really. Just disaster if they moon. Maybe it's not. I'm gonna let this resolve, though. It's fine. Yeah, if they play that Spyro right now, we can just let it resolve, let them discard their 2 cards, and then we can snap push. They're not playing it now. I think I'll just cast the Snapcaster. My opponent is just like, I'm never sacrificing my relic ever, even if I get value off of it. Which is a mood, I guess. Alright, do I think my opponent's last 2 cards are both Lightning Bolts? If I do, playing this Gargaroth is so bad. But if both of their cards are Lightning Bolt, then I get to complain a lot, so I'm gonna jam. My opponent, you know, people just like no one has ever cracked Relic to draw a card in the history of Magic the Gathering. Apparently. Uro is a problem, but you have like more relics in your deck, and like the graveyard is empty when you sack it, so Uro is also worse. Alright, we can just draw a card here. Yeah, our opponent let us snap charm last game, and they let us snap push this game. My opponent has a burn spell, we can answer the burn spell, and so be pretty happy to just get that 2-for-1 if they jump here. Or block here, I should say. But yeah, they also didn't cast the Pyro. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Opponent's making some loose plays for sure. Opponent no cards in hand. I guess I could put Obosh in. Okay, now they sack Relic instead of putting Obosh into their hand? Opponent! Now they cracked the Relic. They read the Relic, I think. I think they read it. Well, yeah, we'll just let that resolve, then gust the flashback. This game is pre-recorded. Sure seems like it. They also didn't tap their zone, but it's always the top card. It's always the top card. We're streets ahead too, for sure. Yes. If a flashback spell would go anywhere besides exile, it goes to exile instead. That's why Remand on flashback is good. Might be better to make a beast there because we can Cryptic and draw the Gust. Nice, they bring in relics and you just bring in Gargaroths and slam it. I want a third copy. 2 is fine too. Get on board, not conceding. There we go. 3 and 2. Deck felt pretty good. You know, we mulled to 5 in game 3 against Hammer Time. Misplayed against Storm. I'm gonna play at least one more league with Sultai today. Let me just digest a bit, see if I want to make any changes. I think I'm liking the 2 Charm, 2 Jace, 2 Shark, 3 Cryptic, 3 Uro. Maybe we could play 4 Uro, 3 Spiral. Can I play Izakiki? If you want me to play a deck that you want me to play, I do have donation deck options. So you get what you want, I get what I want. It's a good deal. Might just run it back.